Welcome back to Factory Sealed, everyone. It is January 31st, 2016. My name is Eric Peterson. Joining me today, Miss Jess Clarkson.
Hello.
Mr. Daniel Curtis.
Hello.
And Mr. Yam Ragan.
Yeah, hello, people.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
People.
Excellent. Thank
How
you.
is everybody? Is everybody else all in one piece?
My head fell off yesterday.
Oh, good. Well,
It's back on now.
it's an improvement.
I'm one piece.
Yes,
Touch wood.
I think I'm okay. Yes, we're good.
It's good to hear. Tom, are you in one piece?
I am one complete piece.
One piece. Piece of what is the question, but it is a piece of something.
Shit.
How dare you?
Don't make me laugh. Oh my God. It
We'll
hurts.
try into that.
It's going to be that kind of show.
Yeah, if
Oh,
Eric
God.
collapses halfway through, it's because of pain.
No, I can. Here's the thing. I took a Vicodin before the show. So the pain.
The Viking in.
Yes, I took a Viking in. He was knocking on my door. It was cold and rainy, and he needed a place to sleep. So I gave him the couch.
Is it comfortable?
No, not really.
Did
Is it
he
called
rape and
Johan?
pillage?
There was a lot of pillaging, no raping yet.
That's good.
Oh, Jesus.
He said that's
I wouldn't-
probably like that's an after dinner activity. So we're just not going to give him dinner.
Of course, Vikings are well known for their ability to dull pain,
Yeah.
so that'll help.
He offered to just
I-
chop the arm off.
I don't even know why you let him in.
No, I mean, I liked his beard. It was braided pretty
I
well.
wouldn't bother, personally.
Well, yeah, because that's because you're a Londoner.
No, it's not that. I just wouldn't like it. The beard would really put me off.
Well, what if he offered to shave it?
Shave it, then come back and knock.
No,
Then
like
it-
shave it so you knew it was the same person. I mean, a beard can change somebody's facial features pretty drastically. Like if he left, shaved it, and came back, you might not realize it's the same Viking.
I don't care if he laughs. The beard is out of the question.
Are you anti-beard in general or anti-Viking braided beards?
So usually when people are anti-beard, it means they can't grow one.
I'm just going to say that. Tom, does yours grow in like little curly patches of grossness?
I've got something going on, but I don't have a huge beard, no.
Something.
It's pretty trendy to have a huge beard these days.
It is. You slicked back hair, you look cool as.
I think some point down the road, those people with like the shaved side of the head and the slicked back long top hair and the
Yes.
long beard are going to be the people from the 80s with the mullets.
But
Oh,
they
the mullet's due a comeback.
I just don't like it because they say the chin is the window to the soul.
I don't
And
think
so-
they say that.
If you're covering the soul, what are you
What
hiding
religion
from
are
me?
you with?
I think if you say that, that doesn't mean that people say that.
I said it once, so therefore it's said.
It's my fucking house. So he's not coming in. Rules are rules.
Okay, Tom is completely against Vikings. If we have any Vikings listening to the podcast, we do apologize.
Oh my God. Ouch. So back to what I actually said. I took a Vicodin,
Viking in.
yes, before the show. So the pain still exists because Vicodin for me doesn't numb the pain. It just makes me not care about it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Interesting show then.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
no, it turns out I'm quite adept at breaking bones. So I guess those of you who don't know, we didn't do the show last week because last Saturday, as in a week from yesterday, I managed to shatter my collarbone in a tragic electric unicycle accident.
Which I forgot was a thing. I thought it was a legit unicycle.
No, much
In the
cooler.
circus.
And a lot of people that I tell are like, oh, like a hoverboard. I'm like, no, get that kid shit out of here.
Why would they call that an electric unicycle?
Well, because nobody knows that electric unicycles exist.
But that's like, there's two wheels on that. So by
Exactly,
definition.
but people as a whole aren't very intelligent.
Okay.
So they just
What
try
is
to
it?
associate with the first thing that pops into their head. Like, oh, like a hoverboard. I'm like, okay, well, it's the same thing like a bicycle's an airplane. So yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they're the same.
Yeah. I mean, they both move people, so therefore, same thing.
Yeah, vehicles, you know.
So
What is it actually called?
it's called an electric unicycle.
Okay.
So the one that I purchased is called a 9-bot 1. And they have the exact same technology as the Segway. And it's a single wheel with an electric motor in there, and it's all powered by tilting back and forth. And mine,
And it looks really cool.
oh, fucking, they're awesome. They're super cool. Here's the one I have.
It looks difficult to ride.
Very difficult. However, I feel, as I must mention, I never had an issue learning to ride it or riding more than 50 plus miles on it. So my accident, as much as I can say, was not of my own fault.
Did you get the lamp that you can attach to your wheel so it looks like rainbows?
Well, see the lights on the side?
Oh, yes, I see them.
There's an app on your phone that you can connect to this, and you can choose any color for any light, and you can get it to go in different flashing patterns, or like comets or rainbows. You can have a rainbow. So
That's
naturally,
so fun.
naturally, I had the rainbow. It's called two flowers or something like that. Twin flowers.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
You
Pretty
can have a
sweet.
Union Jack.
Huh?
If you scroll down, there's a Union Jack shower you can get.
Yes, there is. I didn't have that one. I have a few different ones.
Pip pip.
Actually,
Did they come with different ones, or did you pick up different accessories?
you get the different ones. I didn't even see that Union Jack. I think I need to, if my wife will still let me ride this, I need to get the Union Jack one, and just, because mine's it's kind of customized with different leather that's on the padding on the side. There's different grip tape on the pedals, but I need to change the leather out so it says pip pip.
Yeah.
The pip pip wheel.
Nice.
So no, I had the accident Saturday at about 3. I wasn't even planning on going to my friend's that day, but we'd gotten pretty addicted to riding these things. And he's like, "Come on over, we're going to ride the wheels." And he has 2 of them, and we wanted to teach another friend how to ride it. So we only had enough padding for 2 people, and I said, "You know what? I'm probably the most comfortable on these. Gonna give it to JD to have the pads in case he falls." Well, and fuck, this happens. So, unfortunately, you guys saw the video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was.
Oh, yes, we did.
Kat, Tom, did you show Kat?
She hasn't seen it yet, actually.
If there's any hope of her riding one of these things when she comes over here, do not show her that.
Andrew laughed.
Of course, Andrew laughed because he's an asshole.
Yep.
You should get you should have got the 9-bot mini.
What the hell's that? Where's that one?
So you linked us to the 9-bot 1, but at the top there's the 9-bot mini, and it basically has a little seat, I think.
Yeah, because
Not a
I don't
seat.
want to look retarded.
Um,
That looks real dumb. That looks like
It looks cool.
Oh, it's not a seat. Those are for your knees. That's a hoverboard, basically.
They catch fire and shit, don't they?
Oh yeah. But people use these things for commuting in Japan.
do I want to know how much you paid for this?
Way too much. Everything that I
How
got,
to convince your wife.
I didn't have to convince her. She's like, "Yeah, go ahead." People exist out there, Dan, that actually support your hobbies.
I was going to say that, but I decided that no, not going to go there.
Sorry. It was all the stuff that I got was like worth about $1,800, but I didn't pay that much.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
No. Jeez.
They
I
can
mean,
go up to 35 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, they're fun.
God.
So
It does look fun.
after the accident happened, my buddies had me at the hospital in like 10 minutes. It was bad.
Your friends seemed really nice. My friends would not be. They would be laughing at me.
My friends would just go, way.
What is that phrase mean?
It's just like, if someone drops a glass in a pub or something, everyone just goes, way.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Or if
curds
someone
and whey?
hurts themselves, or...
We say opa.
Are you Greek?
No, but that's the thing that we say.
Because I've been to a Greek restaurant where they'll intentionally smash plates on the floor and go, "Oopah!"
Oh, yeah.
And then they light their food on fire.
The way thing over here, though, it's more kind of just take the piss out of the person who's just done it.
Yeah.
Rather than, say, somebody could fall like through a table or something, and everybody, instead of going to help, would just go, "Wah!"
It's like...
Like
the funny
WAY?
side of everything.
No, WHEY, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like protein?
Well, it's just a noise, Jess. It's just something people have invented. It's not in the dictionary.
But like, what's the...
Where does it come from, though?
Yeah.
Like, how did that start?
It comes from
I think
people in
it's just-
England being a dick.
Yeah, I think it's seeing the funny side in all tragedy.
Oh, God.
You got to
It's
see
just
the
a
funny
really
side.
weird noise to make.
Have you heard my accent?
Everything Dan says is really weird noise.
Oh my god. We were watching The Kingsman the other day, and I was like, this is a story of Dan and Tom.
I've not seen that. Is that a film?
Yeah.
This is a story of Dan and Tom.
I would
It's like
to see
a
this now.
James Bondy type of like ridiculous spy movie, but there's this one kid who is like very, what is that word that I can't remember right now? A chav.
Oh,
Like
And then the rest
tracksuit
of them are
wearing
super posh.
kidney stab and chav?
Yeah.
Oh, good. He sounds like a good guy.
Who
a good
plays the
movie.
chap?
it's deeply insulting, by the way.
Yeah.
No,
Who's the chav? Michael Caine?
I
He's
will have
in
you
it,
know, when
yeah.
everybody at school was a chav, I refused.
You said no.
I don't believe you for some reason.
It's true.
I think it might have been because you
honestly
couldn't
never
aff-
been one.
You probably couldn't afford the tracksuits.
I used to live in the posh part of PLE. Thank you very much.
There's a posh part.
Yeah, there's not any cars on fire. And there's only one drug den.
Fair.
And it's invite only.
It's like an opium den.
Yeah.
No, Jess, to your point, though, yes, my friends were very cool about it.
They were very concerned.
They were. And Austin, the guy who was recording, took off, went back and got his car. And I had enough wherewithal as I'm sitting in the back of the car to know that I didn't want to go to the county hospital. So they called 911 and said, hey, we're already en route. We just need to know where the nearest hospital is. And like, well, county's only 1.5 miles away. And I'm sitting in the back, partially going into shock, screaming, not county. Because that's just basically where it's the goodwill of hospitals, where not the best people go and hardly the best people probably work there. So they're like, well, the next hospital is like 15 minutes away. And I said, fine, I can deal with the pain for another 15 minutes, just not county. So they got me over there and got me into the ER, and my shoulder was broken so bad that they ended up having to cut my shirts off. And I was kind of pissed off because I just found this Mario 3 shirt, the Tanuki suit Mario, that I'd lost that shirt for a couple of years. I'm like, I'm going to go wear this today, riding around on the wheel. And now it's in pieces.
Poor choice.
It was a very
Turn
poor
it into a flag.
It'd be a weird looking flag. It's in a lot of pieces.
Damn, son.
But they didn't give me painkillers for like the first hour that I was in there.
Do they just leave you on a table and go and have some lunch? Or...
It's weird because they only let one of my friends come in, and he was hanging out in there with me, just trying to talk to me about video games and stuff, just to keep me awake because I kept wanting to pass out. And they weren't sure if I'd hit my head yet or not. But as soon as I get in and they hook me up to all the machines, I hear these alarms start going off. And the nurse in there. I thought nurses were supposed to be like calm and collected and cool. But this nurse immediately starts shaking her head going, oh no, no. And I look at her, I'm like, that doesn't sound good. And she goes, no, it's not. I'm like, okay, what's wrong? And
what's
she
not
goes,
good?
Yeah. It's like, you're tachycardic. I'm like, oh, I've watched enough Grey's Anatomy to know that that's not good. And from there, I don't, like, things get a little spotty after that. But apparently I started going into mild shock, and it wasn't super dangerous, but
I feel like going into a room and going, oh no, your heart's going crazy, let's just make you freak out even more.
Yeah,
it's not really a great idea.
Probably not her finest professional moment. And she looked like a seasoned nurse too.
Were you
maybe
thinking
because
the
it was
whole
super
time?
like unexpected?
Yeah.
God.
What, Tom?
Were you thinking the whole time that you weren't being administered painkillers, that you should have gone to county?
No, well, I don't know. Maybe at county they would have been like, just give him some crack.
I feel like they would do that to prop up their reputation a bit more.
Well, when they finally did give it to me, I metabolized through it way too quickly. Jess, what did you say it was called?
Fentanyl.
I chewed through it about 3 times faster than most people do, so I would have these spurts of 20 minutes where I'm like, yes, I feel great. Let's go out. Let's ride some wheels. And then it would die off and I'd just be in severe pain again. And they're like, well, you got to wait. And I kept chewing through it. So finally the doctor came and he's like, let's just plug him up with some morphine. So they came in, they gave me some morphine, and oh my God.
See, fentanyl is stronger than morphine though.
It wasn't for me, but they gave me the morphine, and it felt like my ass fell through the table, and my fingers were just made of static electricity. It was awesome.
Oh my God.
I remember saying to my buddy, I'm like, well, there go my legs.
That's hilarious.
It was awesome. The next 2
I would have
hours,
loved to have been there for this.
the next 2 hours in the ER were just great at that point.
Yeah, his friends would have been so disappointed in how not compassionate any of us would be.
Tom or
Me and
Dan
Tom
would
in
have
the
just been
background going, way!
Dan would have just been behind the camera going, way, and just kept riding past me. Get home, have a beer. I'm like, well, where's Eric? Oh, he's bleeding out in the street.
Yeah.
So they gave me, all they did, I guess for collarbones, they don't really do anything for it. I didn't see the doctor for like 2.5 hours. And the doctor came in, they took some x-rays, doctor came back in, he goes, yeah, it's broken. I'm like, great, I already knew that. Anything else I need to know? And he goes, not really. Like, okay. He's like, here's your sling, we're going to send you home. Okay. And so I went to an orthopedic yesterday just as a follow-up, and he comes in and he goes, the people at that hospital did a terrible job at x-rays. They took 3 x-rays and only one of them actually had your collarbone in it.
County,
okay.
Man. Should have gone there.
County, they probably would have just looked at it and gone, hey, you think it's broken? Let's push on it a little bit.
They would have taken pictures of their iPhone.
Oh, God. So he takes some new x-rays and he comes back in and says, so yours is actually a lot more broken than we initially thought, and we're going to have to do surgery. So I get to have surgery on Wednesday. You're going to put a big old plate in it. I'm going to be a bionic man.
How's Ellie with this?
She's fine. She sees my arm in a sling and she's like, Daddy, owie. And she comes up and gives my arm a kiss.
That's so cute.
When she first saw the bump on my shoulder, I was sitting down at kind of at her level, and she goes, what's this? And pokes at it. Like, oh, kid. You know, and it's your kid. She doesn't know any better, so you're doing everything in your power not to yell at her. You're just like, love you. That hurt. Don't do that again.
Please just go in the corner right now.
Yeah,
away from me.
Daddy's going to go throw up. So it's been a trip. The last week has just sucked because...
You've been off work, right?
No, I can't take off.
What?
I work from home, dude.
I thought you had to drive places.
I do, but I can't. Doctor's orders, no driving.
So
Do you have
just-
standard?
No, I don't.
Have you managed to get dressed yet?
Well, that's the thing. You don't realize that... So this happened on my right arm. I'm right-handed. You don't realize how much you take for granted that you do every single day until you can't use your right hand. I can shower, but I can't dry myself off. like half of my body just doesn't get dried off because I can't bend over. I can't dry that part of my body. I can't put pants on myself. I can't tuck a shirt in. I can't put a belt on.
I can't
But
toilet
you can
yourself.
play games.
Oh, dude, your body adapts very quickly to playing games. You just got to kind of like scrunch it up against your chest and, you know.
That out of everything is what you're most concerned about, which is hilarious.
What about, I don't know, what about like bench pressing? Can you do that?
Well, I've always been really good at one-handed bench presses, so that hasn't been an issue.
Nice.
I mean, I've dropped my weight on the right side considerably, but still.
That makes sense. That's understandable.
Toileting yourself?
His right side's getting thinner, and it's always wet because he can't dry it.
Going to the bathroom, for example. You don't realize how much you rely on your right hand. And these are times where I wish I had a bidet.
You could do a sit-down wee.
That's true.
No, I'm talking about the pooping.
Okay.
Oh.
The peeing's not a problem. I mean, I can hold something with my left hand.
Well, you could.
I mean, it's not that unruly.
Oh, this is like the funniest way to describe that. Oh, are you having a sit-down wee?
Actually, Daniel. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
If you want to preserve your prostate, it's actually recommended that you sit down to have a wee.
Oh, I've never had a wee standing up before, so...
That's right, you don't pee in public urinals, do you?
No, it's weird.
You would not survive in some...
Jess,
Yes.
do you not find it strange that men go into the toilets and they stand next to each other, lob the cock out, and have a piss?
I don't know if I would want to do that if I had a penis. I don't think I would want to do that.
Well,
at
it's
all.
not...
It's the most awkward thing in the world.
Because, like, what do? Do you, like, you can't... I feel like you're just
I
zoned in
focus
front
on
of
the.
you.
I point in the wall, stand slightly diagonal so nobody can see.
Oh, I talk
But
to
what if
everyone.
someone's
I
on the
walk
other
in, I'm
side
like,
of you?
hey, how's it going?
I walk in and just go, oh, that's a damn nice penis there.
Oh my god, ouch.
Oh my god.
Put the shoulder
Yeah, I
back
feel
All
in
right,
like
place.
Eric, you haven't passed out, have you?
No, but every time I laugh, so the bones are still broken to the point where they're not going to heal on their own. So every time I move my shoulder, they move around inside my collar.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh boy! And laughing with that up and down motion. Oh boy! You would not survive. So there are places over here that have a trough just filled with ice. And you
Oh,
just
yeah.
piss
Oh,
in
that's
the
the
ice.
worst.
Real?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
no, it isn't.
It's like
See, I
festivals
feel
and
like
shit.
it's so much... Like, I feel like it would be a convenience factor.
It is.
Like, if you have to, like, pee in the forest, like, you don't have to find an awkward, like, area.
Yeah, but then
where...
you don't have to stand next to a big smelly dude.
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
having
that's
to
what I'm
piss next
saying.
to
So
you.
Dan, hold on. Even if you went in and all of the stalls were full and or out of service, and there were urinals along the wall, but they had dividers, you still wouldn't use it?
I would use them, yes. I would use one as long as there's a gap.
Okay, it's very rare where there's not some sort of divider.
Oh, we
No, it
don't have
isn't.
dividers really that often.
Did you see for women, Jess, that there is a funnel that you can press
Yeah.
against your...
Oh, a shiwi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes it so you can stand up and pee?
Which is
Yeah.
hilarious. I feel like... I feel like it would not work as well. I don't
Such a
know.
mess.
I feel like we're
occasion.
going down a very dark path again, everyone.
Yeah.
The shiwi.
Great invention.
Andy?
Yeah.
So yes, overall left-handedness sucks, but I've learned to manipulate a computer very, very well left-handed. I've gotten very good at typing succinct work emails, but I'm afraid they're going to come off as curt.
Just put a smiley face.
Yeah.
A wink.
You can
Just yes, smiley face. Signature, that's it.
Do you guys use smiley faces in your emails?
No, because I'm not 13.
Oh,
I am 13 then.
Well, if it's somebody I'm familiar with, I'll be a little bit more casual, but generally I'm sending emails to very important people.
My friends are important.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you send them to me, they're definitely not professional.
Oh, I don't even bother spell checking.
I know.
I don't even capitalize shit.
I know.
How quickly can I get this off as inaccurate as possible? I went through my email with you, Dan. We've probably sent 2,000 emails in the past 3 months.
I would be surprised.
Because you don't use Google Chat anymore.
Yes.
So, we should probably talk about some games, guys.
Oh my god, we do games?
I have a game that I have to talk about. Have to.
What is...
Is it
Go
urinal simulator?
Did you know in Japan they have games at the urinals that you piss into and it makes the
Yes, I
dolphins
played
swim?
one.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That would be I think they should have some in the stalls, like with TVs on the back of the door, like battle shits or something like that. That like register the volume of the explosion and the weight. So there's leaderboards. Like imagine if
It
you
should
had
be
this
one
at
of those,
work.
those meters at the carnival where you hit it.
Well, that would be easy because, like, you just
That would be
measure
so
like
good.
water level.
No, I'm talking about like impact force, overall size, weight, decibel level. You
Color.
could have leaderboards at work. So
Decibel
imagine at the office, okay?
This week's invention.
You every day you go to the bathroom and you just have the same people. It would really bring camaraderie to the office. Like you could see how big somebody's shit was from earlier in the day. Like, it would really give you something to talk about around the water cooler.
Speaking of pooing at work, right? Sentence I've never said before. Crystal told me that somebody from her work has like a sanitary bin. Somebody somehow has had a poo in there
In the garbage can?
in the sanitary bin for women.
Really?
Oh.
Oh my god.
That is impressive.
Why would somebody even like voluntarily open the lid to one of those things?
To
But how
put your tampon in
logistically
there?
how has this worked? I don't get it.
I wonder if they like
Intriguing.
put it in after.
What, so this person has fished it out of the bowl and
Well,
put
maybe they pooed into their hand and like just dropped it in.
And they're a dirty bastard. Dirty bastard.
What is the upper decking?
Oh yes, where you poop in the top part of the toilet at someone's house.
Yeah.
The top part?
Yeah, where the water, like the tank.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
people
God.
don't do that. That's awful.
That's funny.
What about
Anyway, back to games.
Yes, back to games. So last Tuesday, a little-known Final Fantasy game came out. One of the many of thousands of spin-offs that was probably destined to be toilet. But it's a little game called Final Fantasy Explorers, and holy crap, I've probably put 35 hours into this game in the past week.
Impressive.
Jesus.
It is definitely one worth checking out. It came out for the 3DS. Very, very limited release. Each GameStop down here only got enough to cover their pre-orders, which they had like maybe one of. All the Targets only got one apiece. Some of the Walmarts got a few, but other than that, they're still really hard to find. And for some reason, it's $40 for a retail copy and $30 for a digital, which I like. I think more people need to start doing
makes
that.
sense for once.
Yeah, but it is the most basic comparison is that it is a Monster Hunter game, which I know nothing about, reskinned with Final Fantasy.
Huh.
So have any of you played any Monster Hunter games?
I have.
And you
I've
didn't
not.
like it?
The Wii U one was... There's such
Yeah.
a barrier of entry to that game. Like, it just throws you in. It has a tutorial for about 10 minutes, and it's the most convoluted system in the world.
See,
And
this one is kind of like that, but I have 3 friends that all bought it at the same time. We all decided to jump in and play it together.
See, Xenoblade's like that as well. I've had to really delve into the built-in in-game menu, like manual even, to understand how that game works. But once I've understood it, it's really opened it up, and I've been playing that a lot because it's very good, actually. I like it.
It'll probably be one that I might pick up eventually, but I've put 35 hours into this game, and I have yet to even really scratch much of the surface of it. So
that's the same with Xenoblade, Eric. It's going to be a huge time sink. Like, I've only done I think there's 5 different regions, and they're all huge. And I haven't even been to 2 of them yet, and I haven't explored half of the other regions either. So,
it'll be one that I'll pick up when it's a little bargain bin.
Yeah,
but
I reckon it'll be quite hard to find because Xenoblade Chronicles, the original, is quite hard to find.
I could probably pick up the 3DS version.
Oh yeah, they re-released it, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
So Final Fantasy Explorers takes place on one island, and there is one town. So it's not really a Final Fantasy game. If you're looking for story, ignore it, because there is no story in this game. There's a little underlying like plot, but it has no bearing on the game. You're not trying to uncover some sort of political mystery or anything like that. But you exist within this town, and you basically go out on quests to kill monsters. And every single monster that you come across can actually be captured and become part of your party. You can raise them up, level them up. You're collecting items that you can forge. You're collecting items that you can forge into new weapons and new armor. But there are like 26 different classes that you can be within there. But the overall concept of the game is that there are eidolons that are appearing throughout the world that you need to go and capture or defeat through a series of quests. And each of those eidolons can then be encased, and you can capture their power. And it gives you something that's called magicite, and you can have this magicite use it in battle and as like summons. But the coolest aspect of this game is how much of the other Final Fantasies they tie in. So these Moogles...
Magicite is from Final Fantasy 12.
Yes. So there are Moogles that will appear in town that will give you schematics for new armor and new weapons. And they're like characters from other Final Fantasies. So you can get Sephiroth's clothes, you can get Cloud's sword, you can get Cloud's sword outfit. Basically, any major Final Fantasy character, you can unlock their outfit, their weapons, their abilities. But what's really cool about that is that in battle, it's all active time battle, and you can map skills and abilities to the left and right trigger. So if you hold down left trigger, A, B, X, Y, there are skills that you can put on there. R trigger, same thing. But as you're
turn-based or active?
No, full active time. And
so it really looks like Square Enix is doubling down on that, because
it plays really, really well. If it were menu based, it might be a little bit of a slodge. But so as you are fighting, you build up 2 things. You build up something called Crystal Surge, where you can activate and enhance your abilities, or you can build up what's called Trance. And depending on what magicite you have equipped, so you can have Shiva or Ifrit, or you could even have the Cloud magicite or the Sephiroth magicite. You can hit Trance, and you actually transform into that character. So I've basically been keeping the Cloud or the Squall magicite on, and you transform into that character, and then you can use like their limit breaks or their custom abilities in battle.
Well, that's pretty cool. So like Omni Slash and things like that.
And it becomes crucial to using that when you're fighting the eidolons, because as the game progresses, they get much more difficult, and you can actually set modifiers to each of the quests. So if you want to get more experience or more crystal points or more gil, you can go in and say, I'm going to fight this battle with no items, I can't lock on, I can use half as much time, and all of my abilities cost twice as much action points. But
so how many eidolons is there?
I don't know off the top of my head. I've fought maybe 10 so far, and I'm still barely into the game.
Is it all the old classics, or is it...
Oh, yeah. I've fought Ifrit, Shiva, Dryad, Alexander. He was awesome.
Alexander's always awesome.
There's Odin, there's Ramu. I don't know all of the ones in it. There's Fenrir. So it's all of the really classic eidolons. And it becomes... I
always like Doom Train of Final Fantasy VIII.
I fought Diablos. He was super difficult. So the way that you capture them is once you get your resonance up high enough, so using your magic abilities increases your resonance, and once you get it up past 100, you can modify one ability. If you get it up past 200, you can modify 3, so on and so forth. But once you get them down to within like 5% of their health, you can get if your resonance is up high enough, you can encase them. However, your monsters that are with you will continue to fight. So generally, if you're going on a mission to try to encase them, you have to face these Eidolons one-on-one. Otherwise, your monsters will kill them and you have to do the whole fight over again. So it becomes very, very difficult. It's a blast, though. It is phenomenally awesome. I think you would. I think you would like it, Dan. I really think you would.
I probably would. I'll pick it up when it's cheap. Like
what also is really cool about it is that when you use a crystal surge, depending on what crystal surge you use, once you use any of your abilities from there, they generate what's called a mutation. So if you have fire and you used a earth mutation or an earth crystal surge, you can go back to town and purchase an upgraded version of that fire spell that will have an earth mutation on it, so it causes fire damage plus earth damage.
Okay.
So, or if you have bad breath from a Marlborough, you can add fire damage onto there, or you can put confuse onto your blizzard spells, and you can just stack all of these up. So I have some spells that are like level 9 with 15 different modifications on them.
Wait, what do you call that creature? I'm sure I say it differently than that.
A Marlborough?
I always thought it was Marlboro.
It probably is. I just call
Like
it Marlboro, like the
cigarettes?
cigarettes.
I don't. I've always said that. Maybe it's wrong. I don't know.
It's probably Marlboro. Whatever.
I hate them. I always avoid them.
You can get them as pets in this game, and they are awesome.
Yeah, they're always the most annoying enemies because they just spam that bad breath and just infect you with everything. And they, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But what's cool is you can get their bad breath on any of your spells. So if you plan it out right, you can get all of your spells to do all bad breath, and it just confuse, silence, paralyze. It's a super strategic game. So the way that my friends and I have been playing is that I play as a tank, one other guy plays as a ranged person, somebody else plays as a healer, and another person.
Oh, so it's co-op as well.
Yeah, it's the first 3DS game I've ever played co-op with someone, and you can play it locally or you can play it online.
That's pretty good.
The only downside is that it doesn't have voice chat, so we just have to hop on Skype with it. But man, it is a friggin' blast.
Interesting. I have to pick that one up. Did anybody see the footage of Final Fantasy 15, by the way?
I didn't watch the footage. I read about it this morning after you sent it to me, and holy crap, does it look good.
Oh, God, the graphics are something else, and the gameplay looks awesome.
I still can't believe that we're going to be playing that this year.
I know. I know some people are sticklers for the old Final Fantasies with the turn-based system, but this is just looking so good. Like, really good. I mean, I think it'll still have a lot of strategy to it when you play it.
Well, you haven't played the episode Discave demo.
No.
I should give you... I'll give you the login for my PSN so you can download that.
Oh, how about play the whole thing after that?
That does look really cool.
They've added the magic in, so...
Well, I was reading about that. What's super cool about it is how the magic interacts with the world. So if you're walking by a waterfall and you cast Blizzard or Freeze, it's going to freeze that waterfall for a short period of time. And I
like how you can work with your fellow characters too.
Yeah, and like the fire, if you light the grass on fire, that fire will spread to other flammable materials.
Oh man, that's so good.
This looks like it could be worth the wait, mind, if looks as good as it does.
Well, they've basically built it again from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that will be a massive time sink.
Yeah. It's open world as well, isn't it? So
yeah. I still can't believe that you have not played that demo.
Because I never got, what's it called?
Type 0.
Type 0 was worth $60 just to play the demo.
What was Type 0?
I remember when that happened with Halo 3 and it came with Crackdown. No,
I bought Crackdown because I loved that game. What were you asking, Tom? Type 0?
Like Type 0. Was that good?
I enjoyed it. It was kind of a goofy mashup between... You can tell it was originally made for portable devices because it's actually very quick pick-up and play mission-based, but you're in this school and you're part of a class and you go on these missions that you have a certain amount of time to complete. but then there's this weird RTS strategy to it as well out on the open world. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely not the best, but I think it's worth playing because it's unique. If you can pick it up for under $30, I'd say it's definitely worth it if you're looking for a new Final Fantasy to play.
15 looks so good. I want to wait for it. I love how they've announced the date. They will announce the release date.
It's the release date of the release date.
Wouldn't it be so good if they just came out in March and went, yeah, it's finished, you can have it tomorrow? I'd be like, yeah.
Do the whole Apple thing. I think at this point,
somebody should do that.
I think at this point, if Square, they've really turned their reputation around, because for a while they were just kind of the piss bucket of gaming. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And I think with 15, people are starting to turn back to them and be like, okay, maybe they're on the track back to glory. And I think 15 is actually, provided it lives up to the hype, I think it's capable of doing that.
Yeah, but then they've got 7 coming as well, so...
Yeah, as long as they don't bungle 7.
Well, they've already put some concerns in with the episodes, but I'm hoping the episodes will be like the equivalent of, say, Final Fantasy 13, then 13.2, and 13.3.
As long as we don't have to wait 2 years between them.
Yeah.
I feel like Dan wouldn't be able to handle that.
No.
Jess, that's all right. I just play through the first one until it comes out.
Jess, are you much of a Final Fantasy fan?
Yeah, I've played them all multiple times.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think it's true either.
Have you played any?
Ever played the original Final
Not
Fantasy?
fully. They just seem too overwhelming to me. Like, they're just...
You played Suikoden and collected 106 characters. How is Final Fantasy overwhelming?
Because I think I read too much on the computer, and there's like 50,000 different ways you can attack. And
I really, genuinely, I wish you would have stuck with Final Fantasy VIII to play through with us, because I think you would have really enjoyed that game.
Maybe I'll just do it by myself. So then there's no pressure of
and I'm not trying
to get it done.
I'm not trying to incite anything here, and I'll try to explain it as best I can. But I think 8 is way more approachable than 7. While 7 may be a better game, I can see why Jess would think that 7 is overwhelming, because there is a lot more to it.
No, there isn't. 8 has the most convoluted system in the world.
I'm trying not to incite anything, but 7. No,
I was hoping Dan would just I could see your opinion. I disagree.
No.
But
I respectfully disagree.
No.
I do respectfully disagree, but my God, just don't go with 8. 9 is easy. Play a 9.
9 would be a good choice to jump
9
in with.
9 is easy. Yeah.
Okay.
You might like
you
that.
just level up, you get abilities, you can equip the abilities or not. That's it.
It is a bit more traditional. So yeah,
Okay.
I would actually, you know what? I think you're right, Dan. Good call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good call.
I really want to play 9 again, actually. Haven't played it for so long.
I played 9 relatively recently, and that game is awesome.
Well, we need another super long RPG to play for the show. So once we finish Popolo Croix.
But if we play 9, I get sucked into the Chocobo side quest, and I can't stop playing it.
I don't think I've ever tackled that.
Yeah,
Just
well,
because I know
that's
how
where
big
you
it
get
is.
the best things in the game from.
is that where you dig and stuff like that?
Yes,
with the Chocobo?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Okay. I know what it is.
Okay. I do remember that now.
And it's so addictive.
Oh, God, yeah. Okay, I
If
forgot.
you don't know how it works, basically, you get a Chocobo and you go to different locations and you can dig in the ground. You get a minute to play this mini game where you have to dig. It's like hot and cold and you have to find where the treasure is. The Chocobo says que in different ways, depending on how close you are. And then you can find treasure, and then your beak levels up and you can find better treasure. And you can find these things called chocographs, which point you to locations on the world map. So you can take the Chocobo out to the world map and find these items. And there's hidden treasure chests in certain places in the world. And you can find like unique weapons and Zidane's ultimate sword and stuff like that. And it's just so addictive.
And then you realize it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're still playing?
Yeah.
I wonder if
Honestly,
Zidane
it's
is in
like-
Final Fantasy Explorers.
You should be.
I'm going to look right now. Yuna's in there, for God's sakes.
There's Vivi in there. We like a bit of Vivi.
I don't know. Oh, dude, I love Vivi.
Yeah, Vivi was a great character.
So, speaking of Final Fantasy, while we're on this, I feel like I need to give a really big shout out to a former guest on our show. A few years back, we had artist Rob Duenas on. Do you guys remember him?
Yeah.
This is before the Dan and Tom era, so...
Okay.
He is a comic book artist, owner of Sketchcraft, does a lot of phenomenal stuff. I met him at the Phoenix Comic-Con and got some Ninja Turtle artwork from him. But right before Christmas, I contacted him saying, hey, I'm looking for some Final Fantasy artwork. And he had some Final Fantasy 7 and 9 artwork. And I said, I'm just looking for about maybe 5 or 6 prints. And he said he was going to throw in a custom drawing of like Titus from Final Fantasy X for me. So I contacted him after Christmas when I got home from vacation, and he said that there was a mix-up, and his wife put me down in the wrong category for some new artwork that he's working on. And basically, as an apology, he sent me every print of the Final Fantasy stuff that he has, along with the originals for Final Fantasy VII artwork that he did.
So that's where that came from. I saw that.
Yeah, those little square pictures are the originals that he used to generate the big prints.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's so
they
cool.
are awesome. So those will definitely be framed. But
As soon as you can use your arm again.
Well, I can still hammer shit to the wall with my left hand. It might not stay as well.
Can you hold the nail with the other hand?
That sounds difficult.
Hold it with my teeth, Tom.
Your teeth? Oh, yeah.
That's why you have Ellie to hold things for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not dangerous.
Yeah.
She can...
So definitely check his stuff out. Sketchcrafter. He has got his Deviant Art Sketchcrafter. It's Rob Duenas, Deunas. Super cool stuff.
Immediately go on to
Your internet was so crap there that I don't even think I got anything of what you said.
You went full robot.
Yeah. Good. I always go full robot.
To answer your question, it does not look like Vivi is in Final Fantasy Explorers. We've got Ares, Bartz, Cecil, Cloud, Lightning, Squall, Terra, Titus, Tifa, Vaughn, and Yuna.
Yeah. Cecil?
Cecil.
Cecil.
Oh,
Cecil.
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 Now, what about Sid? Because he's
oh
in
my
every
god,
Final
how
Fantasy.
cool is this Star Wars picture?
Sid is he's basically the mayor of the town that you're in.
Okay.
Is he still really obnoxious and swears all the time?
No, every Sid is different. Like 15's got a female Sid.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. I thought you meant Sid Highwind.
He's cool in 7.
Who was he in 8? Oh, he was the headmaster. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I used him against Sephiroth in 7.
Really?
No idea why.
Well, my favourite Sid's is the one from 9 where he's an Oglop.
Oh, yeah, the frog.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's an Oglop as well. And then he turns into a frog.
Oh, got it. So the main point of our show this week is to finish up the latter half of Paper Mario for the N64. I think it's safe to assume that Tom and Jess did not play it at all because we were supposed to have had this show finished last week. And Jess wasn't going to be here last week anyway, so she bowed out. But she can still heckle from the distance.
And I'm just making this very clear that doesn't count that I didn't finish it if I didn't really start it.
That's convenient. You've still got that flawless record going on, Jess, don't you?
I do.
You know,
Hanging on.
as much as I want to disagree, I think I'm going to give her a pass on it because she originally wasn't planning on being here for 2 shows.
It's true.
That is true.
And then
And I was like, I could probably start it. And then I was like, nope, because I won't finish it.
it's a long game. I think I
How long?
finally clipped in at just over 20 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not short.
Jeez.
What did you clip in at, Dan?
I don't know. Probably it's about the same.
So where did we leave off? Do you remember?
No.
The hell, this is your game.
You collected 3 stars, hadn't you, each?
Yes, 3 stars. So chapter 4 was... Oh, God, the toy box.
Thank you, Tom, person who was not on.
The toy box, Daniel. Shy
Yes.
Guys toy box. Easily one of the worst levels in any Mario game ever.
How?
It just didn't fit.
How didn't it fit? It was a toy box in a Mario game.
Can we read the message that was sent this morning? I think there's going to be a big debate about Shy Guy's toy box.
Yeah, side with me, guys. So
Yes.
This basically means, guys, that Eric got lost and couldn't find what to do.
No, I didn't get lost. I just hated every second of being in here because it didn't fit the art style of the game. It didn't fit the flow of the game. It just felt really out of place.
Why?
I just explained why.
Well, in Mario, they always have different concepts.
I
different
understand
worlds.
that, but this one just, for some reason, felt like it did not fit.
Did you not have any toys as a child?
No, I had dirt.
A hoop and
Mystery
a stick.
solved. Move on.
Yeah, hoop and a stick. No, so this one, you pop out into town, and these Shy Guys have shown up, and they're stealing things from everybody, and it's your job to get them back. And you find this house outside of town where these Shy Guys have a toy box that they're taking all of this stuff, and you have to jump into it, and you get miniaturized, and you hop down, and there's this train that goes around the station, but all the tracks are broken, so you need to go into these little offshoots, get these items back, take them back out to town to get another item to allow you to progress. And it was just really bad platforming that was not fun in the least bit.
The platforming is shit in Super Mario, in Paper Mario. So I just.
But you said you particularly liked it.
I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it as much as you. I thought it fit in. It was a bit annoying having to go out of the toy box continuously to find items.
The second half of this game did a lot of backtracking. Like once we get to Flower Fields, holy cow. There was so much backtracking with that. But
Does anyone feel bad for Shy Guy?
I don't understand. I think he's just misunderstood.
They just look so sad. Like, I just want to hug them.
I particularly
They would steal your clothes, don't do it.
I did like the gourmet guy, the big fat dude that you have to give a pie to, and he just loses his mind.
It was a cake, dearest, not a pie.
Well, you guys call everything
shit.
something different, so I was trying to call it what I thought you might call it.
A biscuit
But you
pie.
just called it a cookie biscuit pie.
Yeah, it was a biscuit.
Just gave him a biscuit.
Did you fight Anti-Guy?
I did not
I did,
fight.
and died spectacularly. My God, he was strong.
Did you ever go back to him and try to beat him?
No. Apparently, you can actually give him an item, and he buggers off, and then you can access the chest.
What was in the chest? Wasn't it just a badge?
I think it's like a strength badge, so it ups your power.
That would have been nice.
Yes, it would.
I did like some of the platforming in this, like how you had to use bow to get through some of those electric fences.
Mm-hmm. But I don't. The switching between the characters thing, I think we touched on this last time. It's like, particularly in the latter half of the game, you have to do it constantly, and it just gets tedious.
I understand why they did it, because they want to make sure that, hey, we're incorporating all of the characters, but the last level, you have, 8 characters you have to switch through on a constant basis?
Yep, and then half the time you end up with the wrong character in the battle because you haven't switched them back out.
And then you have to waste a turn to switch back.
Yep.
The final battle for this one was actually pretty entertaining. You break into this room where you find this. He looks like a Russian general, Shy Guy, and he sends this entire troop of Shy Guys onto you. And they actually killed me the first time because I didn't utilize a strong enough attack to kill most of them. And there's 24 of them that will attack you all at once.
Yeah, it was. I didn't struggle with this boss, but it took me a while to click on that you had to use the new electric character to blow up his tank thing.
Oh, you had to blow up his light bulb.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I can't explain it. I was super glad to be done with it. I did not enjoy the toy box level much at all. It just felt really off. But then we got to go.
It wasn't the best level, but I didn't hate it as much as you did. So
yeah. Where'd we go next? Yoshi Island?
Oh, I liked the Yoshi bit.
That one was cute. I wish that there would have been a Yoshi character to have with. Because as soon as we got there, I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to have Yoshi. Nope, I got a piece of sushi.
What?
Yeah, you get a piece of sushi.
You get a fish. You get a fish who just flops around on the ground after you. It's great.
Oh.
She was actually the character I used the most, I think, from this point.
I don't remember much about this Lava Island. Walk me through it, Dan.
You had to go and visit the big crow. Basically, all of the baby Yoshis in the camp decide that they want to go for an adventure in the jungle, and of course, this goes wrong. And then Mario has to rescue all of the baby Yoshis.
Did you struggle finding them?
Yes.
I didn't realize that I was supposed to be finding them, so I went through the forest, which is kind of a maze in the first place, and at the very tail end stumbled upon the one in the tree because he was the most obvious. Like, oh, great, I found a Yoshi. Good, are they going to give me an item? And I get back to town, and they go, oh, you found one of them. Go find the rest. Like, oh,
well, I sent you a message about this because there's these flowers on the island which kind of spin round, and if you jump on them, Mario just spins round with them, and then I was like, well, surely these do something. But I couldn't figure out what. And basically, in this game, you have he has a spin attack thing, which doesn't really do anything, except you move faster, and it isn't used at all up until this point. And you have to use this spin attack to get up in the air. And I didn't have any idea about this.
Now that you mention that, that is quite honestly the only time that maneuver is used in the whole game.
Yeah.
I used it to move around because you can actually spin, and then if you jump right before you stop, you can spin right away again, and you can move a lot faster. But when I hopped on that flower...
After you said about it.
What's that?
I started doing that after you said about it as well.
Yeah, and you can get a badge that makes you spin farther. But as soon as I got onto that flower, I had that same thought. I'm like, this has to do something. So I did the natural progression of press every button and finally figured it out.
I thought I did, but it didn't work, so I mustn't have.
But yeah, there was a Yoshi hidden up there. They were hidden in really goofy spots.
Yeah.
Like there was that flower drops you up onto a tall pillar, and then if you walk up to the bushes in the back, you can open the bushes and there's a pipe. But some of the bushes you'd click on and there'd be enemies in there and you'd have to fight them. So I just stopped pressing on bushes.
Fair enough. Yeah, that didn't sound wrong at all.
Well, there shouldn't be a bush in the first place.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
This is true.
Right. Jess?
Yes.
Nothing from Camp Lady?
Not going there.
Good.
I think she has strong opinions about this, but she doesn't want to go into it.
That's for a different podcast. That's for the Factory Sealed Feminism show.
Every show should be the Factory Sealed Feminism show.
Well, then break it open. Let's hear it.
She did, where you had that whole debate about I have no mouth and I must scream.
Oh, yeah. That's enough feminism for one day.
Yeah.
What next, Dan?
And then after you've rescued the Yoshis, you had to go and see a giant king of the crows who would help you get into the mountain where you had to find the next star spirit.
This mountain was tough.
Yeah, because they had the enemies with the fire attacks, didn't they?
Yes, but there was a badge, the ice badge, that would increase your damage done towards fire enemies. Did you have that?
Yes, but I did not have this at this point.
What?
So,
how didn't you have that?
I don't know.
Oh, man, so this must have been tough for you.
It was all right. There's only a couple of sections of the game where I struggled really badly. I don't know, I always seem to, at the last second, find a health block or something that would heal me.
Well, I think they strategically placed those, which I really liked, because I tried not to use any of my items going through the dungeons, because I knew that eventually I would get to a health block, and if I got really low on health, I would just start avoiding enemies and running away from battles.
Yeah.
Until I got there. But the boss here is a giant lava piranha, and he was... I don't want to say he was super difficult, but he was a little bit more challenging than some of the other ones because you'd kill the little heads, and then you'd kill the big head, but then the little heads would come back and cast this spell where smaller flying piranhas would come out. So you had to constantly mitigate the smaller heads, but the big head would cast such a large spell on you that it would take out most of your health.
I was using, I think, the fish's attack that attacks all the things at once, and that was killing them. I think. I can't remember.
You were supposed to utilize, I think they built the enemies or the bosses so that you would utilize that character for that boss.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I would always have Bo in my party because she could do out of sight.
Yeah, that's useful. But you only need that for the enemies that charge up their attacks.
That's true.
Otherwise, I'd just take the hit and make sure I do damage.
I never had enough items with me. I still think that was one of the downfalls of this game, is that you could only carry 10 items with you at any time.
Yeah, that's annoying. But I think it depends on what you invest your levels up into as well.
True.
Because if you haven't invested in health, you would not be able to get through this game.
What were you asking, Jess?
But could you divide that by the other players and stuff like that?
It's all Mario holds it, and
That's true.
Mario's the only one who can utilize the items.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes. So your other characters basically serve as secondary attacks. That's all it is.
The other characters can't even... Well, they can be attacked, but it doesn't take away from your health. Instead, they get, kind of grayed out for a turn.
Yeah.
So could you, Mario would have to use a potion on someone else?
No, Mario doesn't use a potion on anybody else other than himself. The health meter is only tied directly to Mario.
Oh.
So the other players can get hit and they can become incapacitated for 2 turns, and therefore you lose an attack, but you don't lose any health.
Huh.
It's kind of a novel system.
Mario can also block attacks as well, if you time it right. Or he can reduce the damage taken. He either blocks it outright or reduces the damage.
Yeah, if you manage to block it.
Yep.
The blocking is a lot harder because the enemies attack with varying speeds and it's hard to gauge. Usually you have to take 1 or 2 hits before you can get the timing down for the block, and by that point, well, the battle's over.
Yeah.
So after this one, you go back to Peach, and there's a little game show that you get to play.
Oh, yes. I love how just lax they are with the security.
Yeah, she just
in
pops
that
out.
castle. Just in between every chapter, Princess Peach escapes from her bedroom using the same secret passage, which Bowser knows about. It just wanders around the castle.
Every time.
To be honest, though, these people do not learn from their mistakes.
No.
They really don't. They're not a good criminal organization, are they?
No. And, I don't know. You think if you're Peach, you would put some, security guards knew what the fuck they were doing, or, bars on your windows or something as well.
Well, in this one, Bowser basically put his castle under hers and lifted her into the sky. So I don't think there's a whole lot she could have done about that.
Fair.
Some form of guards might have helped instead of Toads who do nothing in the castle, as far as I'm aware, apart from stand there.
Having Mario move into the castle and just be a permanent part of the castle?
No, he has to bunk up with Luigi in his weird bedroom.
But he's usually always in the same area, and she still gets kidnapped. So I don't think Mario is really good at the preemptive kidnap game.
Maybe he's got this down to the point where he's addicted to the limelight, but the limelight's only on him when he's saving Princess, so he actually allows her to get kidnapped.
Yeah, he just sits and cries in his bedroom when she's not kidnapped. So,
have you seen
speaking
the
of this,
where...
Eric. Sorry, Jess, go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's a funny cartoon where Peach is sleeping with Bowser, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then they're like, he still believes you that you keep getting kidnapped.
Is that from Dorkly?
I love Dorkly.
And he's hanging
Maybe.
up. He's got Bowser's costume on the wall, and he's actually just the human underneath.
Yeah, that's it.
Have you ever seen the Dorkly where Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat can't stop being dizzy?
No. Oh, I think, you sent that to me.
Yeah, it's just basically when you do finish him on Mortal Kombat and the old ones, they start spinning around and he doesn't finish him and he just goes through life constantly spinning. It's just genius.
What were you saying before, Dan? You said speaking of this?
Oh, apparently, if you go back to Mario's house, you can find Luigi writing his diary in the basement at some point.
I went back and visited Luigi, and Luigi's like, "Oh, I wish I could join you, but I got to stay here and take care of the house."
Yeah, but he's actually writing a diary underneath the house, I think, in a secret basement.
Is he
find.
moaning on and on about how he wishes he could?
I
Somebody
don't
loved
know.
him?
I didn't actually look, but I found it afterwards when I was looking to see if there's anything I missed.
Oh.
And but Luigi actually joins your party in the later Paper Mario's, I think.
Yeah, this one was interesting because it actually used enemies as your characters, but like Super Paper Mario, you have all your characters, but that one you actually have like Bowser in your party too, which is interesting.
He keeps a diary detailing Mario's adventures and his jealousy for Mario. He was one of the people that powered up the stars with his wish, which is to sleep at the top bunk.
What?
Oh, brother rivalry. So after this, you head back into town. You have to fight Junior Troopa again. This time he's leveled up with wings and a spiky hat. But did you try to leave and go towards Toad Town and come across Kent C. Koopa?
I didn't until later, actually.
Because
there's basically this giant Koopa guy, isn't it, blocking the path?
Yeah, I felt like that was a nod towards Superman because he had the glasses and like the little swirl in his hair. Kent C. Koopa.
No, it's a pun, Eric. It means he can't see.
Oh.
Kent C. Cooper.
Great. Okay.
Burned.
Shut
Dan
up,
can
Tom.
be such a dry asshole.
Shot down in flames.
Oh shit! I didn't fight him, but this is where I struggled in the sewers.
If I did that and he knew that, he would do exact same thing.
Oh no, it's amazing.
It's true.
What goes around comes around. Just take your licks as they come.
Let us not forget the Konami incident.
Oh God, you will never live that down. Ever. No, so in the sewers, I was talking to you about this, Dan. The sewers get pretty complex at this point, and it was here where I was just exploring and getting some of those power-up stones, and I thought I'd beat all of the bloopers, but I came across one blooper that just obliterated me, and I lost like an hour worth of time.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, because I'd gone through the entire sewers fighting people and just thinking, okay, I'll be fine, whatever, I'm done with this. And then I was getting ready to leave and took a wrong tube and popped in, and it was a blooper, and I had 0 health with no items, and you can't run away.
Yeah,
So
that would kill you.
It just toasted me. Did you do anything with the Rip Cheeto?
I bought a few things from him, yeah.
What does he have?
Occasionally he gives you like ultra shrooms and things like that, but occasionally he does give up badges.
Oh.
So basically this guy is he's a hidden character in the sewers, and if you give him 64 coins, because Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64, you see what they did there. And,
is that a pun, Dan?
Love it.
It is a pun. Yes.
Or is that an homage?
An homage, my dear.
A homage?
Homage. A homage pigeon.
Homage.
Yeah, but he gives, it's a gamble basically. You can either give him it or not, and he will give you an item, but you don't know what it is. And then every time he gives you an item, he goes, you can have another one for another 64 coins.
Another one.
Another one.
From here, we go on to the dreaded flower fields, and I think you and I can both agree that this one was pretty rough.
Oh, flower fields is a bitch.
So
it sounds nice and cheery and pretty. It's just, in reality, it's a lot of backtracking and wandering from side to side, trying to collect items.
Just
do things on the other side of the map.
Just getting to the flower fields was a bitch, because you meet this lady in town, and she's growing a garden, and she says, hey, if you stumble upon any magical seeds in your adventures, just bring them to me. And initially I'm like, all right, whatever, this is just a goofy little side quest. And through just organically playing the game, I came across one of the magical beans, and or the magical seeds, and
Really?
gave it to her.
I had 3.
She plants it in her garden, and you come to find out that the only way to get to flower fields is by giving her all of these magical seeds. And they're hidden throughout the different levels that you've already gone through. So one of them was on the mountain, another one was already in town. I don't remember where the 2 other ones were, but I had to backtrack and try to find 2 of the other ones. So at this point, I just said, you know what, this is going to take way too much time. I just looked up where they were, because I'd be damned if I'm going to go through every single level again looking for a flower to give me a seed.
I missed the one in the first area, the canyon place with the mountains.
That's one I missed. No, I had that one.
Did you get the one in the jungle?
No, I had to go back and get that one, and I don't remember where the 4th one was.
No.
But either way, you open up a door, and it takes you to this alternate universe where there's this field of flowers that has become overshadowed with clouds because...
Does the alternate universe fit in well enough with Paper Mario? Is that okay?
That one's fine.
Good.
Because it's a door in the middle of town that takes you to a flower field. That one fits, makes total perfect sense.
Oh, good. Just checking.
With giant talking flowers. But no, you get there and it's been... The sun has been blocked by clouds from... What's Huff and Puff?
Huff and Puff, yes.
Huff and Puff. He's just an angry cloud who's spewing out brown clouds over the flower field. So you're in the central hub, and there are 6 different branches that you can go off. But you can only go to certain ones at certain times, and it is a ton of backtracking through those. And each time you go through it, you have to fight all the enemies in there. So you get all the way through one to the end, get your item, come back, fight through all the enemies, get to the center, and there's no health block there. So if you want to heal, you have to go back out the door, into town, go to Toad's house, sleep, come back in, rinse, repeat.
Oh, God.
And
That sounds like fun.
The only way to get through some of these other gates is to give certain flowers a certain berry. And I didn't pick up any of these berries. Like, well, what the hell? Where am I getting these berries from? And apparently, if you hit some of these trees with your hammer, berries will fall down. And you
see, I hit
items?
all trees anyway, so...
What, Jess?
Are those counting as items? So you can only hold, like...
Correct. So if you already have 10 items, you can't pick them up. So you have to go back to the shop, check your good items, so you can pick up these shitty items that you're just going to give away in 10 seconds anyway.
I just throw things out when I need to.
Well, what if you had all super shrooms?
I never did.
Oh, well, you should then.
Did you, Eric, find the super sparkly enemy in this bit?
Yeah, what's he all about?
If you manage to kill it before it runs away, it gives you a ridiculous amount of battle points.
Huh. I got him.
So you can actually spam them and level up loads, apparently.
I didn't even get close to killing him. I hit him 2 or 3 times and he ran away.
He ran away at the first go for me, I think. So then I was just like, okay, he's gone.
I really liked the characters that were in Flower Fields. As obnoxious as this level was, there was that really super racist flower in the first location. Did you pick up any racism from him?
No.
He was that guy that would tell you everything incorrectly. He's like, whatever you do, don't go east. And don't throw a blueberry into the well. But he looked like this super stereotypical, like really racist Asian flower.
What was his name? Where was it? In the flower field?
Yeah, I got to try to find a picture of him here. Shit, I can't remember his name. He was just a little one-off character, but man, he was racist. Like nothing that he said was, but
Was he pink?
I don't know.
I got it, people. Calm your tits.
Tits calmed. Send it.
Now.
Now.
Calm down.
Can I calm up?
No.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what he looks like. But yeah, that's what he looked like in the game.
That's
The guy all the way on the left. He's like, oh.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But look at that pool of flower with the huge nose as well.
and
What's
the
that?
teeth.
Yeah. Very, very, very stereotypical Asian.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, but this game was
crucial.
made in Asia, so they did it. So
Pandering to the racism of America.
I was going to say that doesn't make it.
Yeah. So this one you get a character named Lackey Lester, who he's defecting from the Cloud Gang of Huff and Puff. So he becomes your new friend, and he allows you to ride over spikes. You jump on his back, and he's basically a Lakitu that you can jump on and ride over spikes. There was a puzzle in this one that. How long did it take you to get that puzzle with the raising platforms, Dan?
well, it took me a while because I was playing around with it, and then it was really simple in the end.
Yeah.
And it just literally going to the end one and then moving something down, and then it goes up, and I was like that's so easy. But about 10 minutes, maybe.
This battle was particularly difficult until I discovered, through some of your help, a very, very helpful glitch or exploit that you can utilize in this game. So Huff and Puff is a very difficult boss because
No, it's not difficult. It's unfairly difficult.
yeah, it is brutally hard. Oh, his name is Huff and Puff.
Up to this point, the bosses have been challenging, but Huff and Puff, actually, when you attack him, every time you attack him, he spawns forth these other clouds based on how much damage you've done. And then, if you don't kill all these smaller clouds, he will reabsorb them and get his health back. So,
plus, he'll heal himself like 20 points a couple times throughout the match, too.
yeah.
So, I tried to fight him legitimately a few times, just got destroyed. And then Dan and I were just kind of talking about strategy of it. And I think at that point you said that we were talking about how you can charge up your jump attack. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, well, it does a little bit more damage. So instead of 3, it does 6. And you can get a super bounce badge that if you continue to press the jump button at the right time, you can hit him like 6 times. So you could essentially do like 18 damage if you just do a basic jump. However, you told me at that point that the charging stacks on top of each other. So if you charge your jump and then use it, that charge is gone. But if you charge it and then wait and then charge it and wait, now it hits for double. So what I did is I would have Bo in my party, and I had full flower power. I filled all of my items up with flower power regenerators and then a couple super shrooms, and stacked my jump 13 times. So every time it would be Bo's turn, she would just out of sight me. He would continue to heal himself because occasionally Bo would have to do something other than out of sight. So when it came time for Mario to attack, I'd expended all of my flower points. I'd expended all of my health items, and I said, I have one shot at this. And if you miss hitting that button for the jump, your turn is over. So I'd stacked my jump like 13 times, went up, hit him for 35 points in one hit him for 30 points the next one. I hit him all 6 times for like 140 points. Battle was done in one turn.
That's crazy.
So it was definitely the easy way out. I mean, it wasn't difficult at all. You just had to make sure you time it properly.
But I think it actually wants you to do this because it gives you that badge just before you get to him.
I think that, yeah, that might be. So you beat him without doing that?
No, I had to do that in the end.
Oh, man.
I was fighting him for about half an hour, just by the skin of my teeth, and then he finally killed me. I was like, wait, this is just ridiculous, because it's just every time you attack him, he gets back his health. So, and then he only started healing himself 20 points. I was like, oh, just, you know what, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I did some reading about him, and he's regarded as one of the most unfair Mario bosses.
It's just, I don't know what they were thinking.
It's tough, especially for a game that this isn't a kid's game, but it's definitely an easier, more approachable RPG. But finally beat him. Sun comes back to the Land of Flowers. You're good to go. You head back to Princess Peach. You sneak out, and you can utilize this umbrella that she won on that game show, where if you point it at anybody, you can turn into them. So you get to walk around as these as the guards and pick things up. There apparently, Dan, there was a chest in the castle that if you put stuff in, Mario could go and pick it up somewhere else. Did you ever utilize that?
Yes.
I couldn't find it.
How?
I guess I never looked for it.
You couldn't find it in the castle, or you couldn't find it as Mario.
As Mario.
As Mario, it's in the place where the people who sell your badges for star bits. It's in there.
Oh. I thought that was just a decoration.
So you go up to where Princess Peach's castle used to be, and go right, and then down instead of going up, and then because you can go up to Star Mountain or whatever it's called, or you can go down to their house.
Huh.
And there's a guy who's a fortune teller and the chest downstairs, and then you could go upstairs and you could trade in your star bits for new badges with the guy upstairs.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't
Interesting that you completely missed that as well. So.
I knew there were a few badges that you pick up in the castle, but yeah, well, whatever.
They weren't very good. I never really used them.
No.
But it's useful to go and trade in for the badges.
I really enjoyed the next level. For some reason, I'm kind of a sucker for snow levels in Mario games. I just always liked them. In Mario 3, I really liked the ice world. All of the snow levels in Mario 64 are some of my favorites. They're just something...
It's because you're from Wisconsin.
That could be it, too. I mean, am I alone in that feeling that...
I always love a good platforming level with ice. They're always in these kind of games, though, ice worlds, aren't they? Like, it was a running joke.
What, Jess?
The ice makes me, I just get panicky when I start sliding.
This one didn't really have that, but yeah, in Mario 3, where if you're on the blocks, you have to time your jumps really well because you can't stop.
Yeah.
This, so what? There was a mystery at the beginning of the ice level, wasn't there?
Yeah, I thought this is where it took a really dark turn until it all made sense. Basically, there's this guy, and he's just dead.
He's the mayor of the town.
Yeah.
And you walk in
just find
and
his dead body.
Really?
Yeah, his wife says, "Oh yeah,
X's
go back
over
and
his
talk
eyes
to
and
him."
everything.
But you go back there and find out that he's dead on the floor, and the wife comes in and she's like, "You killed him!" And then the whole town goes on lockdown. Well, you have to prove your innocence.
Do they ever show dead people? I don't know if I've ever seen another one.
Hang on, young Jessica. It turns out that the mayor is not dead.
Oh,
but is merely sleeping.
He fell off the counter, or he fell off a cabinet.
Oh yes, he's unconscious.
So these people not only are really stupid, they don't know how to really ensure that someone's dead by just touching them.
But he does have X's over his eyes, which is of course the universal symbol for death.
maybe he was wearing a sleeping mask.
Tape over your eyes?
It could have X's on it. You don't know.
You don't know.
It matches his exact skin tone apart from the X's.
Yeah.
So there is also, I think this town as a whole is very stupid because, like we said before, there's always a little bit of a section that you have to go through to unlock the next level. So this one you have to go to a star town where these people raise these stars that go up into the sky. But along the way, you come across this wall of snowmen that's missing. One is missing every snowman has a hat and a scarf. One snowman is missing a scarf. The other one is missing a hat. So you get to this town to talk to the fortune teller, and the fortune teller is trying to tell you how to go about to your next level, but he can't decipher it. And he says, however, here's an item that has been passed down for generations, for centuries through our people. We don't understand how to use it. And he gives you a scarf. And he says, legend has it that the mayor has another item that has been passed down through generations and centuries of time. So you go back and you talk to the mayor, and he says, oh yeah, I have that. Here you go. It's a bucket. We don't know how to use this. And it looks just like the hat from the snowman. So had these people taken at least 2 brain cells and rubbed them together.
Well, they probably haven't got any because they're so cold because they're not wearing the scarf.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they live in an ice world and they don't know what a scarf is. How do they get through the day?
So you walk up to these snowmen, you put the scarf and the hat on, and boom, this palace opens up to the next level. And you're on your merry way. I don't really remember a whole lot about the ice level.
They go to the Crystal
Palace. The palace. This one got kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's basically this. You go in the palace, and because it's 2D, there's a mirror behind you, and you can see Mario in the mirror. But what you don't know is you can also go behind this mirror by doing certain things, and by doing things behind the mirror, it will change things in front of the mirror.
And sometimes, so there was one where you see Mario with Cooper on the back side of the mirror, and there's a button on the back side of the mirror, but that button's not on the front side. So you have to line yourself up using the back mirror to hit Cooper on the front side to shoot across and hit this invisible button.
Yeah.
So cool little things like that.
This is also where things try to pretend to be your characters as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and you have to guess who they are. Like Bombette comes out. That one was pretty interesting because if you'd paid attention to how your characters talk up to this point, they actually they expect you to know and understand your characters to choose which one's the right one.
Yeah, because she's really aggressive, isn't she? So
super bitchy.
Yeah, so all the rest kind of say different things when you talk to them, so then you have to hit them with your hammer, and if you get it right, they'll run away.
I thought my favorite, though, was when it was the very last one where they're trying to pretend to be Cooper, but it comes out and it's like a Goomba, Luigi, Colorado, and they're all trying to convince you that they're Cooper, and you talk to Cooper, and he's like, dude, really? Like... Really, these people don't even look like me. So you hit all the rest of me. He goes, I'm glad you got that one right, Mario.
So I thought it was a trick, but I still did it the right way.
Yeah. This one was... There was one puzzle in this one that actually stumped me a little bit, and it was with those rhino...
statues.
Yeah, the rhino statues. I didn't know that you could talk to the rhinos from a different angle. So basically, there are 3 rhino statues in the back of the map, and 3 real rhinos in the front that you can talk to, and you have to get them lined up onto these squares, but they're not lined up properly. So one might be 2 squares forward and 1 square back. So you have to talk to the rhino to get him to turn which way he's facing, and then go to the rhino in the back, and you can push it the direction that he's facing.
Yeah, I had to get some help from this, but once I understood how it worked, because I didn't realize you could push the statues. So
that one was pretty difficult. The Crystal King, he was very simple. I didn't struggle with him at all.
Yeah, first go for him as well.
But
really
man,
easy.
the final Bowser battle, or the final Bowser dungeon, was super long.
Oh yeah, this is where it basically takes. This is where you have to use all of the characters, constantly switching between them, using the special abilities to get through it.
It's neat and all, but man, like the one I didn't enjoy was the one where you had to use Sparky or Watt to get through those dark the dark caverns.
Oh yeah, that was a bit of a pain.
What is Sparky?
He's a little electric ball that if
He's
you
called
utilize.
Watt, by the way, not Sparky.
What's his name? Volt?
What?
Yeah, I said that. I corrected myself.
I know, but Jess thinks he's called Sparky.
Well, I did say Sparky, so it's understandable.
Oh, Sparky's such a cuter name than Watt.
Yeah, it sounds like Dan. What?
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 Yeah, he lights up dark caverns, basically. So as you're progressing through, you come across these rooms that have a giant stone Bowser door. And he always gives you challenges that you have to overcome. And they're usually like, beat the Cooper brothers again, and just really simple stuff. But the last one he had you do, what was that? It was a little bit of a game show.
Yeah, where things come out of doors.
That one was tough. That was super difficult.
Yeah, it's an observation game. Basically, there's 3 doors, and different types of enemies will come out, and you have to observe them, but you don't know what you're observing. So it starts off with, how many Goombas did you see? So you can say that I saw 3. And then it'll say something really stupid, like how many of certain colours were there? And it gets even more complex than that, doesn't it?
Yeah, one of them was, it had like 9 different characters come out. And one of them said, which door did the Goombas come out of? Or which door did the Goombas go into? But then one of the later ones said, how many arms did you just see?
Oh my god.
So if you look at it and you're like, oh, well, I saw nine people, okay, that's going to be 18 arms, but that'd be wrong because it had 4 Goombas, and Goombas don't have arms.
That's so funny.
I really enjoyed that.
I would be so irritated.
It was free, but Eric, I don't know, because what did you play this on?
I played it on the Wii.
Yeah, I played it on the Wii U, and the Wii U has save states, so I abused them.
Oh, jerk. I didn't know that.
I only discovered this because I happened to press one of the triggers and it brought up a menu and it said save state. I was like,
that's good to know.
I only used it for this bit in the entire game. So, but It was very handy.
So you finally make your way up to fight Bowser, and of course it's a 2-part fight. And you fight him in the hallway. He's not super difficult. But once you beat him, you go through this little story battle that Princess Peach tries to fight, and then you learn like, oh, everybody needs to pool their wishes together to increase the star strength, and you're given the star. You're given this final ability where you can negate the power of the star rod, and that kind of becomes crucial to fighting Bowser, because in his battle, he will invoke the power of the star rod that will almost kill you immediately, and you need to use this star wish or the star power to negate that, so he doesn't attack you with that. But Bowser in this battle will heal himself 30 HP 3 times, effectively making the battle last 3 times longer, because once he gets down to 60, he'll heal himself, go back up to full, and do that 2 more times. So it's a super, super long battle.
But not if you use the exploit we found earlier, which
it didn't work.
Works. Did it not?
No, it does not work on Bowser. I tried that. So I got the first time I did it, I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Saved up 12 times, went through all of my items, and it didn't work.
Oh.
So I ended up just resetting and saying, I'm not going to try to fight him. I had no health. I had no items. All my star power was gone. I said, you know what? I'm not going to drag this on for another 15 minutes when I could use that 15 minutes to fight the first part of Bowser again and get back to here. But yeah, I actually had to beat him legitimately. He wasn't too terribly difficult. I still think Huff and Puff was stronger than the final boss.
Yeah.
So in the end, of course, you beat him. You stand outside, look at the stars falling, and sit and wait for something to happen at the end screen.
But with the last boss, Eric, we discussed this. I came down to the wire with me. I had 2 HP left.
Really?
And no items left, and I hit him and killed him. I was so happy.
That's hilarious.
Usually with the bosses, I'll always go into the battle with Goombario and do his tattle just so I have their HP bar.
Okay.
Did you do that with Bowser?
No.
Oh, see, I did.
So this was a surprise. So I was like, okay, this is my last chance. I'm going to do this attack. And if it doesn't work, then
did you beat him first go, or did you die once?
I did beat him first go.
Oh, wow.
It really did come down to the wire. I'm not even exaggerating.
So going into this, what I did is I actually traveled back, and there was an enemy in the canyon called a Wampa.
Yeah, the Wampa's bump thing.
Yeah. So apparently you can only get 8 Wampa's bumps from them throughout the whole game before they disappear. And a Wampa's bump gives you 25 HP plus 25 flower points. And I'd already collected 2 of them before. So before this, I said, I'm going to go back and get some Wampa bumps. And I cleared out all my items, filled up with 6 Wampa bumps and I had 1 health thing, so if I died, I'd revive once. And then some super mushrooms. By the time I ended this battle, I had 4 Wampa bumps left and all the rest of my items.
Oh, well, very, very different experiences.
Because I used bow and just out of sight it every time.
Oh, okay.
So
I used Watt, I think, because Watt always breaks through defense.
What?
What?
No, there's a distinct difference. One is Watt and one is Walt.
What?
What? I think one of our listeners said that when I was trying to get you to say an American what, it sounded like you were throwing a wet towel against a wall. What? So that is Paper Mario. I was pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed it, although it did drag on a little bit.
Yeah, towards the end it was a bit tedious. But I also said to you, how long did you spend staring at the end screen?
Yeah, much longer than I probably should have. Because I wanted to see if I could see how long it took me. Like, would they give you, hey, a save, and then you could play through it again? No, this is Paper
some
Mario.
RPGs, you get to the end screen, and it might give you a chance to save and start New Game Plus, or chuck you back into the world. But this one just left it. And just fireworks going off on a loop. I was like, nothing's going to happen here, is it? So
you're standing outside Mario's house with Princess looking at the castle, and Luigi's probably in there scribbling in his diary about the top bunk. Like, I'm going to have to listen to them all night.
No, but if you've never played...
What?
They're so, no.
You cannot tell me.
They totally born. Come on.
I don't know
Probably.
why. I just feel like that shouldn't be happening.
Why? Because it's a kid's game? They are adults with needs.
No, I know that, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know.
There's a bit at the start where Peach wants to take Mario somewhere quiet. So I'm just leaving that there.
She is a woman with needs.
Yes.
Good for them, but I don't know. I just feel like they don't have those parts. They're like Barbies.
See, Mario's much shorter than her.
How
so
do
it would be
people
weird.
in this world reproduce if they don't have parts? Are they just like asexually budded out of a flower?
Yes.
How are mushrooms walking around with arms and legs?
It's a video
They're
game,
not,
Jess.
they wear hats.
Disbelief. They're not. They wear hats.
They do.
How do they get their hat on?
They put it on their head.
With what?
Hands.
The mushrooms.
The toads.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think we're talking about the Goombas.
They're not mushrooms.
What are they? Are they moles? Like a mole on your face that just pops
The
off?
little freakish creatures
wish
that
I
Mario
knew.
kills.
I think
I
they're...
feel like they're kind of mushroomy.
Yeah.
I've never thought of it.
But
I thought you
apparently
were talking about
the
toads.
Why?
mushrooms that the toads are based off of are like the most poisonous mushrooms in the world.
Goombas are a species of sentient mushrooms, apparently, according to Wikipedia.
So, really, they would be quite tasty, maybe. What do you eat in Mario?
Oh, apparently they're based on shiitake.
Shikaki what?
Shiitake.
That one.
Shit take mushrooms?
No, but anyway, getting back to Paper Mario, it's one of those RPGs that's easy up to a point, gets quite difficult, but it's if you're not that much into RPGs, might be one to delve into, because it's not super difficult. Like, Jess, even you could play it. There's not a lot to it.
Oh, thanks.
Provided you could finish it. It's
100% completion rate, Jess.
I know, I still have it.
I don't know. I think we're going to see Jess stumble. I think we'll see her succeed next week, but I think we'll see her stumble the week after.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts on Paper Mario, guys?
Yeah, Jess and Tom, what do you guys think?
Fantastic game.
Bit short.
Bit short. I don't think I'm going to be in the
we
mood.
played it through to completion, so we've done well.
You and I, Dan, are at
Yep.
a 100% completion rate for the year.
Damn right.
Oh, there isn't Jess.
Jess is like a baseball player who takes steroids. She has an asterisk next to her name.
Shut the fuck up. No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Did you finish this game, Jess?
Freud rage.
No, hold on. Let's go through this logically. Are you part of Factory Sealed?
Yeah.
Yes or no? These are all yes or no questions.
No, I don't know if I want to answer
These
this.
are all
I'm
yes or
pleading
no
the
questions.
fifth.
Are you a member of Factory Sealed Podcast?
Yes.
Did we decide to play Paper Mario for the Factory Sealed Podcast?
Yes.
Did you play Paper Mario for the Factory Sealed Podcast?
No.
Are you at a 100% completion rate?
From the games that I completed, yes.
Jesus Christ. You'd belong perfectly in the American education system. Well, I got the ones that I answered right, but I left 90% of them blank, so those aren't... Ugh.
Oh, God.
Guys, we have some emails.
Oh! We
my
like
God.
them.
This...
How many?
We have 3. Our last
3?
show, I think. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We have 3.
Yeah. It sounded like Tom in that rap video.
Oh.
Oh, God.
If you want to send us an email, and Dan, I think we talked about doing our emails earlier in the show. I just forgot. I told you to remind me, but you didn't.
Yeah, I forgot to, so...
FactorySealed@manatank.com. Our first email is from Jack Grant, one of our game winners from last giveaway. He writes in, "Hey, Eric, Tom, Jess, and Dan. Firstly, I would like to thank you guys for the amazing game Qbert rebooted, also known affectionately as Dick Nose. It was truly amazing. On a completely unrelated note, what is the most fond memory you have of a game being so bad that you just didn't have the will to complete it? Seriously, the show is one of the best podcasts. Keep up the great work.
All of them.
All of them. Any game that just doesn't complete is so bad.
It's shit. I can't deal with it.
Barbie Supermodel's got to be up there, Eric.
Yes. Although I don't think we really ever set out to beat that. Did we?
No, I don't think so.
It was a random game generator game.
Yeah.
Batman Forever was pretty damn hard to finish as well. You know what? I'm going to go for Batman Forever as my pick because that game is so difficult.
Goof Troop!
It would Goof Troop, man.
No, and here's the thing, is that Kevin and I actually streamed us playing the entirety of Goof Troop, and we got to the final boss and died and didn't save. And I just
have to play this.
Did not have the willpower to play it again because it was so bad.
Turok is my legit one.
Oh, Turok.
It actually aggravated me so much.
And you didn't even make it to the first boss.
No. Sometimes I have weird, I don't know. It was just so frustrating. And
I don't even remember why I purchased that game as a kid. I paid $70 for it.
Because it sounds badass?
Yeah, it's like Super Dinosaur on Junior shoot exploding flaming shotgun shells at velociraptors. That game is pretty shit.
It is pretty shit.
I can't believe they redid it for PC.
Maybe it's better.
I would say Mario is Missing is kind of up there too. Have you guys ever played that?
No.
Which one?
It's it's trying to take on the whole Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, but with Mario, and it's pretty shit. What about any of the Sonic games, Dan? Those are notoriously terrible.
They are not.
I think.
Sonic 06 is terrible.
That's what I was thinking of. I couldn't remember if that's just what it was called. Was it called Sonic 2006?
It was called Sonic the Hedgehog, but everybody calls it Sonic 06 just to stop being confusing. And basically, they released this game. It was meant to completely reboot Sonic, and it was just so broken. So broken. You would just be in a level and you just fall through it and die. That's how bad this was.
That's
camera
amazing.
would get stuck on things, and when you go and speeding around the map, it was just... it was so bad. I think I've still got it, I might replay it.
I'd imagine you would have bought that because you just have this little boner for Sega or for Sonic games.
I did.
Oh my god, a new Sonic game! Mom.
The last good one was Sonic Generations, which was just basically because they remade the old levels. So that was good, but all the rest... Sonic Unleashed was good. The daytime levels where you could go super fast, and that was really cool, but then they ruined it by having the Werehog in, where it was a fighting game, and just... I would also say... I love Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles.
The good original ones.
Yeah, those are the ones I love.
I would say,
Sonic 3,
legitimately, for a series you like the Sonic games. I really enjoy Mega Man. I could not bring myself to play more than 2 hours of Mega Man Legends. That game is shit.
See, isn't there two different types of Mega Man? Isn't there Mega Man X and Mega Man Normal?
Correct.
But
they're both side-scrolling. They're both the original formula of Mega Man. But Mega Man Legends is a 3D RPG Mega Man game.
Oh, okay.
And it is
that sounds
super
atrocious.
shit. I've wanted to try to get into the Battle Network games, but I never really picked any of those up.
So I haven't played many Mega Man, so if I was going to come into it, which one would I play?
I think, quite honestly...
2
would be a great place to start, but I think you might actually take better to the Mega Man X series.
I think I've tried Mega Man X, and I quite liked it.
Mega Man X is good because it's got some customization to it. There are hidden spaces within each level where you can upgrade your weapons and your armor.
Okay.
X is a little bit more approachable. 2 is just crushingly difficult if you're not if you're not a seasoned Mega Man player. It might be a little off-putting.
Okay.
So I would say give X a try.
Put it down on the list sometime.
Yeah. Tom, what about you? We haven't heard much from you in the past hour and a half.
Yeah, have you been asleep, Tom?
I had a little nod. I remember when Resident Evil Outbreak came out for PS2, and I hated that game.
That game was supposed to revolutionize the series.
Yeah, but it just destroyed it for me, because prior to that, I think it was Code Veronica X on PS2, and that still had the same tank controls, same system as the original games for PS1.
Mm-hmm.
And then Outbreak came along, and I remember playing it at a mate's house, and we were just so disappointed. He'd paid like 40 quid for this game, and we played it for about an hour, and I just thought to myself, yeah, I'm not buying that.
Well, okay, so the concept of it was kind of an online-based game, correct?
That's right.
I think it could have been neat, but I think the infrastructure wasn't quite there yet, because you had to have the PS2 modem. The PS2. Did you have to have the hard drive?
Yes.
Yeah,
so it's you have to have all this stuff to get it to work, and obviously the PS2 just didn't have the architecture to support it at the time, so it probably would have been a good game otherwise. But I probably didn't know that at the time. And also, Red Faction 2 was a massive disappointment. We saved that to buy it.
I've struck that game from my memory. That was the first game that I ever pre-ordered, ever.
Wow.
Because my buddy and I picked up Red Faction 1 and loved it. I would go to his house every day after school, and we'd sit and play the multiplayer and just have an absolute blast. We discovered Red Faction 2 is coming out. We went, well, this is great. We're going to get more of Red Faction. It's going to be better. We went to the store. We pre-ordered it, and because we pre-ordered it, it came with a demo disc. And we played the demo disc and initially had that feeling of, like, not that good. But it's a demo, so hopefully it'll change. And we both picked it up, and I think I finished it just because it was a Red Faction game, but I never touched it again.
Yeah, it was such a big disappointment. The only good thing about it is that Jason Statham is a voice in the game.
Oh, yeah. The multiplayer was a huge step backwards.
Oh, God. No. Oh, also, another terrible game I played was Heroes of Might and Magic on PS2. Have you ever heard of that?
I did. I never played it.
Fuck, it was bad. I just can't remember why, because I never play bad games for long. I can't pull myself through it. I ditch it after a few hours.
I could say the same thing, and I could probably start a big argument about Resident Evil 4. I never have finished that game. I can't stand it.
Okay. I'm getting into the more modern generation, Deus Ex Human Revolution. I can't finish that game.
I made it
I know when I want to so bad.
How far have you guys made it?
Everybody raves about it and says it's amazing, but I get through it, and then people keep spotting me when I'm trying to do stealth, and it's just...
I think that's it.
I just don't like it.
Like, the story's really good, but I just find that the gameplay is not...
And I think it would be so much better if it was third person, because he looks so badass. Like, I know it is when he snaps to cover, but I don't know why it isn't all the time. It's stupid. I can't finish it. Honestly, I've tried so many times. I get to the same point and I just stop.
Have you guys played the original Deus Ex?
I played bits and pieces of it on PS2.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be an absolute classic, and I just can't get into it.
Do they have it on GOG.com?
Probably. It's a real... I can't...
Oh, yeah,
it's a real classic.
The Gotti edition. Yeah. It is $10. Huh.
Yeah.
So they're churning up the hype machine for the new one, and I just can't get into it.
Yeah.
I want to so badly, but you know when you've just been burned by a game and you don't like it, and you just...
Well, I think what you said, you can't really pinpoint why you don't like it.
Yeah, it's just... But every time I play it, I get bored and I just stop. So something's not right.
Yeah. Definitely not worth your time to sludge through then.
No.
Our next email comes from Chinaman John.
Good name.
Huh.
He writes in, "Hello, Factory crew. From John the Chinaman. I live in China and am a man. Therefore, I'm a Chinaman." Right? Stumbled onto your
Logic,
podcast.
like it.
Stumbled onto your podcast and wanted to pass along my thanks. I haven't blown through every episode 3 times yet, but I do have a number of long commutes every week and have been working backwards. Never had a PlayStation, so some references are lost on me, but still find even Final Fantasy episodes at least vaguely enjoyable. He has it spelled vagly. At least once an episode, I'm either walking down the street or on the subway and find myself busting out laughing and scaring the locals at some random quips or comments. Thanks a bunch for the recommendations and laughs, and if I can make a request, the podcast needs more you fucking slag. Just typing that here has me giggling like an idiot. If I can make a second request, leave Jess alone. Without her, you guys would be lost.
Right?
Yeah!
Shut up, Jess.
And then he wrote something in Chinese that I'm assuming translated to, "Thanks to you all. I really like the podcast. Chinaman John."
I feel like it might just say Jessica's the best.
True.
Probably.
Probably not.
We have... Oh, this is where I saw this email. Okay. We have another email from Ryan Reynolds. He says, "Hello, FSP crew. I was pretty excited when you guys decided to cover Paper Mario. I have a save file sitting on my virtual console for about a year, and I've been trying to set aside some time to get back to it. This was my second playthrough of the game, and I'm really pleased with how well it has aged. The timing feels a little off with some of the attacks, especially if you are used to Mario and Luigi series, but overall the controls are solid and the animation is smooth. While I love the basic get to the flagpole style of traditional Mario games, it was nice to play in a Mushroom Kingdom that felt a little more fleshed out and lived in. It's also nice to play an RPG with a lower number scale. For me, lower numbers tend to invoke a less serious, less complex battle system. Don't get me wrong, I love being able to hit for straight 9s in a Final Fantasy game, and I'm really into the Disgaea series, which is basically Math the game. But the low scale combined with bright colors and fun characters make this game very approachable. Regards, Ryan." P.S. The mayor of Shiver City needs to marry a woman and hire a lead detective that know the difference between a corpse and an unconscious person. P.P.S. Did anyone notice that weird quasi-racist flower in Flower Fields? The one with big buck teeth, squinty eyes, and only lied? What the hell was that about? And he put a picture of him here.
Ryan, you need to come on the podcast.
Yeah, he basically covered everything we talked about.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good stuff. Yeah, if you want to send us an
great.
email, factorysealed@manatank.com. We like to hear what your thoughts are. Give us some suggestions.
That's some beautiful thoughts there. I like them.
And I think I just locked something up on my computer, so I'm going to stop touching it. We also need to talk about our next giveaway.
We do.
Ooh. This was a very, very, very good timing. Next week, we are playing the Double Fine Classic Grim Fandango. Has anybody started that yet?
Yes.
No.
Not yet.
So good. It is really good. It doesn't make much sense when it comes to the puzzles, but man, that game is funny. If you thought that Psychonauts
I'll give you
funny,
my full opinion on it next week.
Yeah.
But
I'm just giving you a teaser. I'm whetting your whistle with my teasing.
Wetting your whistle.
Allow me to wet you.
What?
Would you like to be wetted?
No, I'm good, thanks.
You sure?
Depends. Are you only going to dry me down one side?
Yeah, well, I can get half of you wet. Next week, we're playing Grim Fandango. The week after, we are playing Oddworld Abe's Exodus. And as such, we are going to be doing a huge giveaway for multiple copies of Abe's Exodus on Steam. So, with that being said, you have to keep an eye out on our Facebook and our Twitter page. It's probably just going to be the basic like, share, retweet thing. If you are a Patreon supporter, which you can find at patreon.com/factorysealed, you will automatically get extra entries into this. And track record has it that those extra entries have actually proved pretty useful for those people winning extra games. So what we are going to be giving away is one copy of just Abe's World, Abe's Exodus. We're going to be giving away one copy of the Odd Box, which comes with Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus, Munch's Odyssey, and Stranger's Wrath HD. And then we're going to be giving away one copy of the Odd World pack, which has Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus. So first, second, and third place. The Odd Box, obviously, first. The Odd Pack, second. And just Exodus, third.
Those are some good games right there, my friend.
The Odd Pack alone, you're looking at 50-plus hours of gameplay.
Nice.
Munch's Odyssey and Stranger's Wrath, they're really good games too.
I just recently played through Stranger's Wrath again. That game is real good. Weird.
Which was the one that came out on the first Xbox?
Munch's Odyssey.
Munch's Odyssey, yeah.
Okay.
That was the game I actually bought my Xbox for.
Oh, okay. Was it good?
You could swap between Abe and Munch, and it was clever, but
it wasn't an Oddworld game. I mean, okay, it was, but it was a little bit too much of a departure, and then they went to Stranger's Wrath, which... Were the Medokans even in Stranger's Wrath?
No, they weren't.
Yeah, so it was basically just that this game took place in Oddworld. Mm-hmm. But I remember Stranger's Wrath had one of the best storyline twists in any game I'd played to that point.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
So keep an eye on our social media accounts for that. We'll be putting those out. We'll be announcing the winners next week so that you guys can play along with us for the following week. With that being said, you can follow us at factory_sealed on Twitter or facebook.com/factorysealed. Dan, where can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me on the Twitter at Defrosted Sloth.
How about you, Tom?
At Hyperjelly.
Jessica?
I have a job.
You can also now follow us on Instagram.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
For all of our sexual advertisement exploits.
Yes.
What is
Sexual
that?
adverts and obscure game picks. That is Factory Sealed Podcast.
Correct. And you can find me at Honest Pizza. We do need to figure out a scheduling for next week because I received an invite to go to the PGA Tour on the 7th. So, Can we possibly record on Saturday?
Can we do a little golf clap?
I only have one hand.
Oh, what are you going to do then?
I'm going to slap my hand against my chest very politely.
I was going to say, you'll probably jar your shoulder. It's probably not a good idea.
No, just a little... That'll be all it is.
I just have to find out. We're going skating next weekend, so I have to figure out what time that's happening.
Well, we'll figure it out, but either way, we'll have a show at some point and give this stuff away. So, with that being said, any final thoughts?
Don't trust
yes, good luck for your surgery.
Oh, yeah.
100% completion.
I will keep you up to date with my surgery. Hopefully I wake up.
Are you going to have time to play a Grim Fandango?
So grim.
What, Dan?
Are you going to have time to play Grim Fandango?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be laid up for 3 straight days.
Okay.
I can T-Rex it for 3 days. Oh, I'll have plenty of Vicodin, and Vicodin will help me get through the puzzles. So I might not remember a lot of the game, but hey, at least I'll have completed it.
That's okay, it still counts.
Heck yeah. Even if I don't complete it, it still counts as completing it.
Yep.
Shut up, no, don't.
According to Jess, yeah.
Maybe if I just don't start it. Well, shit, I already started it.
Yeah, you finished it, Eric. Just stop. That's fine.
All right, well, we will see you all next week.